6:45 a.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by J. Yogaraj and read by Mario Vijayavardhana. The headlines. This year's election will decide the future of the country. India's UPI to be launched in Sri Lanka and Mauritius. Professor Shumarasinghe says the country's economy will be back to normal growth this year. State Minister P.L. Nishantha insists the National People's Power should reveal the truth about the Indian tour without showing double standards. Vijitha Herat says the NPP is trying to establish a friendly relationship with neighbouring countries. The reconstruction and the renovation of 1,500 kilometres of rural roads will be completed by next year. In news overseas, Xi Jinping's never-ending hunt for corruption in the Communist Party. In sports news, Sri Lanka seals the ODI series after Salanka Hasaranga brilliant. The Unified Payment Interface UPI services and RuPay card services will be rolled out in Sri Lanka and Mauritius at a virtual ceremony today, the 12th of February. The event will be joined by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Mauritian Prime Minister Pravin Jagnnath and Sri Lanka's President Ranil Wickremesinghe, according to the Minister of External Affairs. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the President of Sri Lanka Ranil Wickremesinghe and the Prime Minister of Mauritius Pravin Jagnnath will witness the launch of the Unified Payment Interface UPI services in Sri Lanka and Mauritius, and also RuPay card services in Mauritius on the 12th of February at 1 p.m. via video conference. A real-time payment system, the UPI, has been developed by the National Payments Corporation of India (NPCI) to facilitate interbank transactions through mobile phones. Similar to a Visa or MasterCard, RuPay is a global card payment network from India with wide acceptance at shops, ATMs and online platforms. The launch of the Indian services in Sri Lanka and Mauritius is taking place amid New Delhi's increasing bilateral economic ties with the two countries. Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena says the reconstruction and renovation of 1,500 kilometres of rural roads will be completed by next year. The minister made these remarks during an inspection visit to the Kolonnava Road renovation work site. The minister also said the Oragadabatta and Hangwella roads will be renovated through a special loan facility. Claiming that the National People's Power NPP's visit to India was not sudden, NPP MP Vijitha Herat, who took part in the visit, said the invitation was made last December but was deferred to February due to the tight schedule. He told a news conference that India had invited them for a 10-day visit and that the NPP had to cut it short to 5 days due to their planned party activities. The invitation from India came in December last year for a 10-day visit, but we had to defer the visit due to our tight schedule and wanted to restrict it to 5 days, he said. The MP said this was not the first diplomatic-level invitation to the NPP and added that the NPP's leader Anura Kumara Dissanayake and a delegation visited China in a similar manner. The visit to China was not given much publicity as for the Indian visit. I think people may have seen our Indian visit as important due to our previous stance on India, he said. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
Your next generation digital banking partner, People's Bank.
The Department of Examinations announces that the closing date for the accepting of applications for the 2024 GCE Ordinary Level Examination is on the 15th of February. The Examinations Department further said applications will only be accepted online. The Commissioner General of Examinations Amit Jayasundara said school candidates should apply for the exam via the principal and private candidates can only apply for the exam personally. He also said the department has taken measures to make it compulsory to produce a national identity card when applying for the examination from this year onwards. Former Minister Ruwan Vijayavardhana says this year's election will decide the future of the country. He made these comments at a media conference in Colombo yesterday. He further said the country has slowly come back to a normal stage under the leadership of the President. Professor Shumarasinghe says the country's economy will be back to normal growth this year. He made these comments at a media conference held in Colombo yesterday. State Minister P.L. Nishantha insists that the National People's Power should reveal the truth about the Indian tour without showing double standards. The National Building Research Organisation has warned that the quality of air in many parts of the island has dropped further to unhealthy levels. The NBRO highlights that apart from Nuwara Eliya, the air quality in all the other districts is at an unhealthy level. The organisation said districts in Colombo, Kandy and Jaffna are recording particularly high levels of unhealthy air quality. The NBRO further warns that according to the US Air Quality Index, the quality of air recorded in Colombo, Kalenochi, Jaffna, Trincomalee, Badulla, Kurunegala, Kandy and Mathali is likely to cause adverse health effects.
Enjoy seamless shopping, open LCs, settle bills and transfer funds instantly, anywhere and anytime. With People's Bank Digital Solutions, you're empowered to do more whenever and wherever you want. Unlock a world of modern banking conveniences with People's Bank, your next generation digital banking partner. People's Bank.
The main news story is brought to you by Sinhala Mahatmya.
President Ranil Wickremesinghe has directed to provide financial assistance from the President's Fund for liver transplant surgeries for young children at the Ragama Teaching Hospital and cochlear implant surgeries at the Sri Jayawardhanapura General Hospital. The President's Media Division PMD said the move is aimed to alleviate the financial burden on impoverished parents and support the welfare of children. Accordingly, the President has approved 1 million rupees from the President's Fund for each liver transplant surgery meeting common conditions. The PMD stated financial support will be effective from the 1st of January 2024. The PMD also said medical tests have revealed that over 200 children in Sri Lanka require cochlear implant surgeries, a procedure crucial for their auditory development.
The main news story was brought to you by Sinhala Mahatmya.
And now in Watchlight, the air quality in several regions across the island has plunged to unhealthy levels, the National Building Research Organisation NBRO says. According to the latest assessment, apart from Nuwara Eliya, all the other districts are grappling with unhealthy air conditions, with Colombo, Akurane, Kandy and Jaffna registering notably high levels of pollution.
Coming up, World News.
In world news headlines, Xi Jinping's never-ending hunt for corruption in the Communist Party. Kenya's Kelvin Kipton, marathon world record holder, dies in a road accident. Clarice Castle-Brown, UK journalist, says Malaysia sentences political revenge. As the latest phase of Xi Jinping's anti-corruption crackdown cuts through high-level banking and the elite nuclear rocket force, some have questioned when it might end. The short answer: it won't. It has become a central plank of the system of governance for China's leader, and because the anti-corruption drive has been used to remove anyone with even the slightest hint of a tendency to divert from his way of doing things, Mr. Xi is sometimes characterized as an out-of-control Stalin-like figure purging left, right and centre without good cause. The men's marathon world record holder Kenya's Kelvin Kiptum, 24, has died in a road accident in his home country. He was killed alongside his coach Randas Gavei Hakizimana in a car on a road in western Kenya. A third person was taken to hospital after the accident at about 11 local time in the night, police were quoted as saying by the AFP news agency. UK journalist Clarice Castle-Brown has accused Malaysia of seeking political revenge for her reporting after a court jailed her in absentia. The 64-year-old is appealing a surprise conviction for criminal defamation of a Malaysian royal handed down this week. A local magistrate's court sentenced her to 2 years in prison during a single-day hearing. Ms. Castle-Brown told the BBC she was being targeted after her work on the multi-billion-dollar 1MDB scandal. And now the main points of the world news segment once again. Xi Jinping's never-ending hunt for corruption in the Communist Party. Kenya's Kelvin Kiptum, marathon world record holder, dies in a road accident. Clarice Castle-Brown, UK journalist, says Malaysia sentences political revenge. And now in development news, the Urban Development Authority and Dilma Ceylon Tea Company entered into an MOU to improve the sustainability of the Baddagama Wetland Park. According to biologists, Baddagama Wetland Park is an ecological haven for local and foreign tourists and is a well-recognized tourist destination today. The park started in 2014 and the Urban Development Authority, under the assistance of the World Bank, handed over it to the public in 2016. Biologists say the wetland park, which is a part of the Sri Jayawardhanapura Bird Sanctuary, sanctuary is home to many different native bird species, fish, butterflies and dragonflies. The Urban Development Authority says through the MOU, Dilma has committed to financially sponsor the ongoing park renovations as well as to conduct educational programs in the Baddagana Wetland Park for a period of 1 year.
Moving on with sports news.
Charit Asalanka, the deputy skipper, stroked an unbeaten 97 while all-rounder Wanindu Hasaranga took excellent figures of 4 for 27 as Sri Lanka recorded an easy 155-run win over Afghanistan in their second ODI played at the Pallekal International Cricket Stadium yesterday. It was a comfortable win securing Get Series 2 with one match to spare. Sri Lanka displayed a good all-round performance to win the game with great style. After Sri Lanka posted 308 for 6 wickets, Afghanistan reached 128 for 2 wickets at one stage after 26.2 overs. However, Sri Lanka's bowlers fought back strongly with key leggy Wanindu Hasaranga leading the way, taking 4 for 27 in 6.5 overs to get Afghanistan all out for 153 in 33 overs.
Go ekak thiyana youth eකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න as වහගෙන දැකපු හීන හැබැ කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Sri Lanka's first ever floating resort, Bolagala Agro Floating Resort in Negombo, will be open on the 1st of March 2024. The chairman of the Bolagala Agro Floating Resort, Callum Pereira, says the resort boasts 31 meticulously crafted cabanas spread across 13 acres of water surface. He added that innovation in the hospitality industry is taking remarkable strides towards eco-friendly practices. The chairman told media that they are thrilled to commence its businesses and ready to provide unforgettable experiences to both local and foreign guests.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go ekak thiyana youth eකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න as වහගෙන දැකපු හීන හැබැ කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
The Urban Development Authority and Dilma Ceylon Tea Company entered into an MOU to improve the sustainability of the Baddagana Wetland Park. According to biologists, Baddagana Wetland Park is an ecological haven for local and foreign tourists and is a well-recognized tourist destination today.
Weather report.
The Met Department says the prevailing dry weather conditions in the eastern and Uva provinces are expected to temporarily change from tomorrow. Several spells of showers will occur in the eastern and Uva provinces. Showers and thundershowers will occur at several places in the western and southern provinces and in the Nuwara, Gala and Mathura districts after 2 p.m. Fairly strong winds above 30 to 40 kilometers per hour can be expected at times in the eastern slopes of the central hills and in the northern, north central, southern, northwestern Uva and eastern provinces. Misty conditions can be expected at some places in the western and southern provinces and in the Gala and Mathura districts during the morning. This was the report was issued at 4:30 a.m. Further details could be obtained by visiting the official website of the department. That was with the report, and now the headlines of this news broadcast once again. This year's election will decide the future of the country. India's UPI to be launched in Sri Lanka and Mauritius. Professor Ashu Marasinghe says the country's economy will be back to normal growth this year. State Minister Piyal Nishanta insists the National People's Power should reveal the truth about the Indian tour without showing double standards. Vijay Herat says the NPP is trying to establish friendly relationships with neighbouring countries. The reconstruction and renovation of 1,500 kilometers of rural roads will be completed by next year. In news overseas, Xi Jinping's never-ending hunt for corruption in the Communist Party. In sports news, Sri Lanka seals the ODI series after Asalanka Hasaranga brilliance. That concludes this news broadcast, and now it's back to your host, Dilshan Dimel. A surprise visit this Monday morning. Over to you, Dilshan, to keep our listeners in great company as always whenever you are on the airwaves. Dilshan Dimel, all yours now.